Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video, as you can see, we have Gerda on rate up recruitment on the Vietnam server. Global will be getting her 2 days from right now. We're going to go through all of her skills with her multipliers now that we have the full skill description. We're going to try to decide, is she going to be an important hero and where would she be used? And then hopefully later today, if one of my viewers recruit for Gerda, then we can do some actual testing. Okay, so first of all, the ultimate ability, Splashing Fun. This is going to be 0 pre-fill energy. Gerda uses a wooden ladle to splash spring water within a 2-tile radius, healing affected allies for 120% attack multiplier of health and dealing 140% attack multiplier damage to affected enemies. And this can go up to, I guess, 180% maximum level. Enemies affected are also put to sleep for 1 second and cannot move or act. Each time a target receives healing equal to 10% of their maximum health or is healed 3 times by Gerda's hot spring, the sleep extends by 0.5 seconds up to 3 seconds. Okay, so this means that you will begin with the 1 second guaranteed sleep, and it can go up to 3 seconds if the enemies receive enough healing from even the opposing side, if they have healers, or if Gerda's hot spring is going to have enough ticks of healing onto them. From the video trailer, it looked like the hot spring is going to heal every second that heroes are within it, and so 3 times is just going to take 3 seconds, but that will only give 0.5 seconds added to the sleep duration, so you're going to need 4 stacks of that basically to get up to 3 seconds. So overall, interesting ultimate. We don't really have an AoE sleeper. Well, we do have Tassi actually. And Tassi is even a longer sleep duration with more damage potential. But it is an interesting idea. But it is only a 2-tile radius. I think that can be kind of an issue, because that usually is going to be limited to other melee heroes on the opposing side, unless Gerda can somehow get into the back line. But that there is actually a way of her doing that. So we're going to move on to her skill 2, Spring Therapy. Global. When a battle starts, there's no cooldown on this. When a battle starts, Gerda leaps forward up to 3 tiles, which is pretty massive, and stomps the ground to unleash a spring, dealing 200% up to 260% attack multiplier damage with an interruption effect to enemies within 1 tile. So her and then surrounding adjacent enemies basically where she jumps. That is definitely pretty interesting. Like, the interruption is going to be a bit of crowd control right from the beginning of the match. Then she creates a hot spring within a 2-tile radius. Allies within this area recover 25% attack multiplier health per second. That's pretty low. So that is what we saw in the trailer. Her healing per second does seem low, while enemies recover 4% attack multiplier HP per second, capped at 0.5% of their maximum health, which is super minor. Basically, the healing that Gerda will provide to the opponents is very low. Gerda is unaffected while casting the skill, but I think that means only at like literally the first few seconds while she's jumping and then casting the hot spring, she's basically unaffected. But that can be cool because then she can probably bypass enemy irons, other crowd control from the beginning of the match, and also she can interrupt the enemies at the beginning to try and buy more time for your team to get going. So that definitely is interesting. The thing though people have rightly pointed out is that for AFK stages, because that was one area we were thinking should be useful, the fact that you're going to be healing the enemies health per second, that is very counterproductive, because in the high level of deficit pushing of AFK stages, you need all the damage you can squeeze out, and any extra bit of healing onto the opponents is going to like reduce the chance of you clearing that floor. So that is kind of an issue for AFK stages. But overall, I do like this. It does seem really cool. I don't know whether this hot spring will remain even after Gerda is defeated, for example. But the other problem is this hot spring is 2-tile radius, but it's going to be right in the enemy's face, right? Gerda's going to jump right into their face. We don't know about the AI of it, but I'm assuming she's going to jump into the most crowded area. That's normally how these things work. And then only basically your melee heroes will gain access to this, or Sylvina, like was mentioned in the trailer. Okay, skill 3 is going to be Mighty Smash. This is on a 12-second cooldown. Initial cooldown of 6 seconds. Okay, kind of a long initial cooldown. Gerda smashes an enemy with a wooden ladle, dealing up to 150% damage, and that is not going to increase with the level ups. That will only increase the shield value, and stunning them for 1.5 seconds. At the same time, Gerda gains a shield of up to 400% attack multiplier for 8 seconds. So pretty hefty shield, and she definitely needs this for her own survivability. That is the thing I'm most worried about with Gerda, because like as a tank, you need to have a lot of either damage reduction, shielding, something to keep you alive, like revivals, invincibility. But the thing is, Gerda just basically is relying on the shield and her healing. And her healing, because it's gradual, HP per second, and not a huge multiplier, she can't really depend on that too much for her survival. So that is the thing I'm worried about. Okay, let's move on to the hero focus. Hero focus. Okay, there we go. So Gerda reduces her damage taken by 20% during battle. That is basically the best hero focus we could ask for. The damage reduction is really important to give her more survival as a tank. So I am happy to see that. Okay, we can move on to the exclusive equipment, Spring of Life. Now, Gerda increases healing received from the allied hot spring by 120%. And the allied means only for your allies. Each time an ally is healed by it, the cooldown of Mighty Smash is reduced by 0.2 seconds. Okay, so this is the other thing. The two basically things going on here is going to massively increase your healing. Increasing healing received by 120%. I don't know exactly what they mean by 120%. Is that gonna mean like you just add 120% onto this multiplier of 25%? That would make it 145%. From the video trailer, the healing amount was 4 times, like it quadrupled after she unlocked her exclusive equipment. So I don't know exactly what these numbers are implying, because 120% increase would be a bit more than double, right? So I don't know how they got to that number. We're going to have to see in practice exactly how much healing is going to come out. But I still think, even though it is going to be boosted by exclusive equipment and it will be important to unlock that, I still don't think it's going to be massive healing bursts, for example, at least from what we saw from the trailer. But the interesting thing is, each time an ally is healed by it, and I'm assuming it will count onto herself as well, then the Mighty Smash cooldown will be reduced by 0.2 seconds, and it will heal every second for the whole battle. So for example, let's say you have 3 allies in it, 2 other melee heroes and her, and they all count. That's going to be every second 0.6 second reduction to the cooldown, and then after 6 seconds, 3.6 second cooldown reduction. Yeah, actually, when you think about it, it's not too crazy, because even haste is going to give a pretty high cooldown reduction. But I think the other thing you have to think about is haste is going to be a percentage reduction in the cooldown, and this 0.2 seconds is going to be a flat reduction. And so if you already have a lot of haste, then this 0.2 is going to be nice. But yeah, she will pair well with mauler, Shakira, heroes who give haste, heroes who run into the front with her, heroes who can give her more survival, like damage reduction of Shakira, the healing of mauler. Interesting. So increases the healing received from allied hot spring by 150%. And level 3, when an ally enters an allied hot spring for the first time, they become unaffected for 5 seconds. Okay, we did not know about this from the video trailer. This is a very powerful effect. Being able to become unaffected for 5 seconds is very strong, but it will only be for heroes who are able to enter into her hot spring, which is going to be in the enemy's territory, the battlefield. So your ranged heroes probably are never going to get the benefit of this effect, but your melee heroes are going to. But definitely interesting, because unaffected is one of the most powerful states in the game to prevent you from being controlled and getting off your combos. So overall, it is definitely a cool ability. The healing amount is boosted. We're gonna have to see exactly how much it is boosted by, because these numbers, I'm a bit confused about how to interpret them, because yeah, I mean it could just be you just add on this 120 onto the multiplier, but then it should have been more than quadruple. It should have been 5 or 6 times the amount. Okay, now the final ability, Enhanced Force. When Gerda stops the ground during Spring Therapy, she stuns enemies for 2 seconds instead of interrupting them. Okay, so previously she would interrupt them for within 1 tile, and now this is going to turn into a stun at her Enhanced Force, a 2-second stun. Very interesting. So overall, Gerda is kind of a hybrid between a crowd controller, a tanker, and a bit of healing. Now, the healing doesn't provide any useful buff other than the unaffected state. Other than that, it is just raw healing, and it is going to be gradual healing because it is healing per second. It will also heal the opponents, but by a very minor amount, and this will allow it to have a longer sleep duration with their ultimate ability. So overall, definitely all kits of heroes in AFK Journey, this has synergy. But I just don't know where would you use this. So for Dream Realm, it's out of the question. She's a tank. She's not providing anything other than tanking and healing, which is not needed for Dream Realm. So she's out of the picture for Dream Realm. So then you leave AFK stages and PvP. For regular arena, honestly speaking, we have so many top tier heroes in regular arena, is really difficult for a hero to make like an actual impact on regular arena, and I do not think Gerda is good enough. Supreme Arena, yeah, but the thing with Supreme Arena is almost any hero that is released is going to be somewhat usable in Supreme Arena, so it is kind of like it isn't a huge value just for that. And then for AFK stages, I think the fact that she'll be healing the enemies, especially because she's going to jump in their face, set up that spring in front of all of the enemies, she's just going to be healing them for the whole battle, and it will be capped at 0.5% of their maximum health every second. Wait, is this cap? I didn't realize this, guy. I don't know, like the wording is confusing. However, if this cap means that once you heal 0.5% of their max health, they will no longer receive any healing from this spring. If that is the case, that really changes everything. Let me know what your opinions are on this in the comment section down below. But I was assuming that this is going to be capped, for example, every second it will be capped at 0.5% of their maximum health. In which case, for AFK stages, that is not good. But 4% of her attack, it does seem like a pretty low amount, but I don't know. I don't think, like, basically the other thing is that already Gerda is not really necessarily providing any, she's not providing any damage, we know that. Like, she has a stun, but this spring therapy is only right at the beginning of the match. There's a 2-second stun, but this is not going to be cyclable. Only her ultimate will be cyclable and sleeping them. But that is basically going to be it. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think that is enough, other than maybe early game AFK stages where you don't need like huge damage. But for the later game AFK stages, you need so much damage and control. And so like a hero that does control but also heals the enemies and has no damage contribution probably isn't going to be a great option for AFK stages. And the AFK stages are really, they get tough when you're at the higher level, and that's what you want to build towards. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Gerda in the comment section down below. As of right now, I do think she is a safe skip and saving your resources. However, I can see some potential use for her in Supreme Arena. To talk about it, it's basically going to be a melee-oriented comms, using her as a stunner at the beginning of the match. And then, but definitely you want to have multiple melee heroes in the team to get the benefit of that healing. And Sylvina, yeah, she does have synergy with Sylvina. Both Gerda and Sylvina will be jumping into the enemy back line, and the healing is going to make Sylvina ineffective for the first 5 seconds. That is strong. So if you wanted to build her, I would say you would probably need to get her up to Supreme Plus, and you would need to take her to plus 10 exclusive equipment. I wouldn't go above that because, yeah, that is not needed. The major skill effect is on plus 10. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. That's going to be it for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you're planning to recruit for Gerda. And like I said, hopefully later today we will be able to do some testing if one of my viewers does recruit for her. But thank you guys for watching. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. And also, guys, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But I hope to chat with you guys there and see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.